Since it first aired in 2023, Frieren has taken the world by storm. Its beautiful, watercolor-like background and the adorable cast made it an instant favorite for a lot of people. But one of the most interesting things Frieren does is something you might have not noticed at first. The character names. Each name is just a single German word describing the character, and while that sounds simple, it opens up a way of telling a story that I haven't really seen anywhere else. The anime itself is a memory so distant that she has already forgotten all her friends' names, but the impression they left on her still lives on. Frieren does not remember Himmel's name, but remembers his sky blue hair and the heavenly calm she feels around him. Hence, she remembers him as Himmel, a German word for sky. Ice and steadfast nature evokes his name too, meaning iron. And the ever cheerful priest she remembers as Heiter, meaning happy and carefree. This party of Himmel the hero, Eisen the warrior, Heiter the priest, and Frieren the mage has saved the world from the evil demon king. And that should be the end of the story. But for the already over 1,000-year-old Frieren, the story cannot end there. After they defeat the demon king, Frieren parts from her friends to pursue her hobby of collecting spells. 50 years later, she comes back. The unstoppable wheel of time turns tales into legends and heroes into old men. For their last adventure together, the heroes' party travels to the mountaintops to watch the Era meteor shower, fleeting strips of light blitzing across the night sky. Though only temporary, it sure adds beauty to its everlasting canvas, symbolic of the relationship she has with her friends. Himmel the hero is now dead. For someone with infinite time and opportunities, Frieren has always been unattached, but this time she terribly regrets not spending enough time with him.
なんでもっと知ろうと思わなかったんだろう。頭撫でんなよ。
People around her, because of their short lifespan, pass away in a blink of Frieren's eyes. The 10 years they spent together is not even 1/100th of Frieren's life, as she herself put it. The last obvious name I haven't gotten to is Frieren herself. It means freezing cold, or to be more specific, to feel cold. Everyone she has ever loved has died. Everything she does with the depressing thought that it is irrelevant in her nigh immortal life. That is why she spends her life collecting mundane spells. The only other elves we see have their own way of coping with their existential need for connection and approval from others. Kraft the monk looks to the goddess of creation, and Seri the mage has humanity to tend to and become sort of a goddess herself. Frieren used to have that in Himmel, but now he's gone from her life forever. 20 years after the death of Himmel the hero, Frieren comes across a little girl that leads her to Heiter's home. Turns out the little girl was an orphan adopted by Frieren's old friend. She came here to ask if there is any favor she can do for him. Heiter's request was for Frieren to take the girl with her, since he soon won't be able to due to his advanced age. Frieren declined. She says it's dangerous for the little girl, but was it a concern for the girl or her fear of attachments? I can't say. In any case, Heiter asks her to stay with him for a while and decipher an old grimoire while teaching the girl magic. By the time she is done with his request, Heiter is already on his deathbed. With her excuse of the girl being gone and having no choice but to take her with her, Frieren and the girl journeys together, continuing collecting spells. Frieren remembers the girl as Fern, meaning far and distant. Fern has a very introverted personality. She keeps her distance from people and rarely talks, but the only person she opens up to is Frieren herself. But maybe Frieren doesn't feel the connection with her the same way she felt with Himmel. Maybe she's still that little girl with that distant look in her eyes. But I'm not very sure. 28 years after the death of Himmel the hero, Fern and Frieren have arrived in the Breath region to visit Eisen. Though not as vigorous as his prime years, Eisen the dwarf had still life in him yet. Frieren asks him if he has any requests, and they search for the hidden grimoire of the legendary mage Flamme. Flamme was the teacher of Frieren. Her name too she has forgotten. Only her fiery red hair, her warm smile, and the first encounter in the burning village can Frieren recall. She remembers her as Flamme or Flame. Her name is almost the opposite to Frieren. Maybe Frieren's loss of Flamme makes her feel, well, cold. She was the flame warming her, nurturing her, and inspiring her after all. The grimoire in question was about conversing with the dead, and with Frieren's help the party locates it. The mage Flamme deliberately put it here, in case Frieren misses her friends. It spoke of a magical place called Oriole where the souls of the dead live on. Eisen uses his wish to make Frieren visit that place and talk to Himmel one more time. Oriole is on the continent Ende, meaning end. By now, you might understand why the translators changed the name. They changed it from Frieren the Slayer to Frieren Beyond the Journey's End as a double entendre. It is a journey after the main quest of defeating the Demon King, and it is also a journey to a place called The End. The two mages now travel north. Frieren tried to take Eisen with her, but he declined, saying he's now too old. On the way in the Wilde region, they encounter a monster named Einsam. The name means loneliness. The monster lures its prey by producing illusions of a deceased person they miss the most. Frieren mentions her older encounters were illusions of Flamme, her master. Deep into the forest, a thick fog surrounds them. Behind her, Fern hears Heitar's voice. It was the Einsam's illusion, but she could not bring herself to shoot down her adopted father. On the other side, it was now Himmel, not Flamme, that was standing in front of Frieren. Frieren has changed. She struck down the monster, and that snapped Fern out, which then she did the same shortly after. Continuing the journey, the two came across a dragon's nest in the Regal Canyon with a spelled grimoire Frieren wants. Fern attacks the dragon, and it does nothing more than waking it up. They need a warrior. Before they left, Eisen recommended his apprentice to accompany them. He was a boy about Fern's age. He immediately comes off as a coward and a weakling, but Frieren insisted he help kill the dragon. Though scared, he accepts. Despite knowing it was a suicide mission, the boy didn't run away, still trembling in fear. Frieren remembers Eisen's hands used to shake like that because he was scared. But one is not brave if they're not also scared. Maybe that quality also inspired his name. Under stress, iron does not break easily, it bends. The boy clearly took after his master in that way. Frieren remembers him as stark, meaning strong. Frieren Beyond the Journey's End is an emotional anime. Everything here is about a journey to appreciate one's own journey. Himmel would pose for a statue in every city they saved, to remind Frieren that after the journey ends, the happy memories are the ones that stay. We all have regrets, words not said to a departed friend, relationships we assumed we will get back to. The anime reminds us to revisit that part of our memory, to mend broken bridges or forge new ones. Because even if we neglect our own ending, the time we spend with others is only precious little. I like stories with a personal focus like Frieren, and I dedicate this channel to appreciating them. If you liked this one, press subscribe because more is coming. As always, take care. I'll be back.